So again, let us continue in this fourth video regarding genetic disorders. Disease or disorders occurring due to abnormalities in chromosomes and mutations in generations are called genetic disorders. Chromosomal aberrations or abnormalities include either increase or decrease in the numbers and deletions or translocation of any part of the chromosome. Deletion means deleted, or translocated means change its place. Okay. So, for examples are physical disorders like the cleft lip, that is the torn lip. You must have seen some of the children with a that is a lip torn. It is called as a cleft lip. Or albinism. Albinism means some people are very fair, white skin they have. It is called as albino variety, or albinism means white, totally white. And physiological disorders like the sickle cell anemia or hemophilia, etc. Human beings have 46 chromosomes in the form of 23 pairs. There is a great variation in the size and shape of these chromosomal pairs. These pairs have been numbered. Out of 23 pairs, 22 pairs are autosomes and one pair of sex chromosomes, that is allosomes. Okay. Now, chromosomes in women are represented as 44 plus XX. Okay. 44 plus XX. Got it here? Yeah. 44 plus XX, and in men 44 plus XY. Okay, 44 plus XY. Human beings, okay, so have 46 chromosomes. Now, in the picture it is shown here in the table below here, 16.8, human karyotype. Okay, there are chromosomes. Okay, the chromosomes you can see that 23 pairs, 22 pairs plus one last 23rd pair. Okay, 23rd pair. The 23rd pair you can see two X chromosomes. Okay, see in this 23rd pair you can see two X chromosomes, or X and Y chromosome here. Okay. Now, Mendel has shown in his experiments that exist two types of genes, dominant and recessive. If we take into account the number of chromosomes in human cells, their sex-related types, the types of genes on the chromosomes, dominant and recessive, we can see where genetic disorders originate and how are they inherited. Okay, so we can study them. Now, let us go to the next page. Let us study about the disorders due to chromosomal abnormalities. Some abnormalities in the chromosomes. So let us study that. Following are the disorders that occur due to numerical changes in the chromosomes. So let us see what are these numerical changes. Number. Numerical means number. Okay. So numerical changes in the chromosomes. Now here, offspring are not sterile if there is a change in the number of autosomes is less. Okay, autosomes. That is the 22 pairs. Instead, if there is an increase in the number of any autosomal pair, okay, so there are physical or mental abnormalities. Okay, so physical or mental abnormalities are there which arise, and the lifespan is shortened. Lifespan is shortened with a shortened lifespan. Following are some of the disorders. The first one, okay, the first one is Down syndrome. In Down syndrome, there are 46 plus 1 chromosome. Okay, it's called as trisomy of 21st chromosome. Trisomy means there are 321 chromosomes. Okay, trisomy. Tri means 3. Down syndrome is a disorder arising due to chromosomal abnormality. This is the first discovered and described chromosomal disorder in human beings. This disorder is characterized by the presence of 47 chromosomes. It is described as trisomy of the 21st chromosome. Infants with this order, infants means small ones with this order, have one extra chromosome with the 21st pair in every cell of their body. Okay, so every cell has 21 pairs, 21st pair in every cell of their body. Therefore, they have 47 chromosomes instead of 46. Children suffering from the Down syndrome are usually mentally retarded and have short life span. You can see in figure or picture 16.9, the child is shown with Down syndrome. Mental retardation is most prominent characteristic. Other symptoms include short height, wide neck, flat nose, short fingers, scanty hair, single horizontal crease on the palm, and the life expectancy is about 16 to 20 years. Okay, so you must have seen some children with this abnormality, Down's syndrome. So I hope you have followed Down syndrome. Now let us go to the second type of syndrome called as the Turner's syndrome. Now, as with autosomes, abnormalities in the sex chromosomes also cause some disorders. Turner syndrome or 44 plus X, okay, so one X chromosome is there, arises due to either inheritance of only one X chromosome from parents or due to inactivation of the gender related part of the X chromosome. Instead of the normal 44 plus XX or 44 plus X condition arises in the woman suffering from Turner's syndrome. Such women are sterile, that is unable to have children due to improper growth of the reproductive organs. Now you can see in picture 16.10, hand of a child with Turner syndrome. So I hope you have followed it. Next, the third one is Klinefelter's syndrome, that is 44 plus XXY. Okay, 44 plus XXY. This disorder arises in men due to abnormalities in the sex chromosomes. In this disorder, men have one extra X chromosome, hence their chromosomal condition becomes 44 plus XXY. Okay, so one extra chromosome is there in them. Now, such men are sexually sterile because their reproductive organs are not well developed. Now let us look at the blue box there. National Health Mission. Under this National Health Mission, the National Rural Health Mission has started since April 2005 and the National Urban Health Mission since 2013. The main objectives of this mission are strengthening of the rural and the urban health facilities, controlling various diseases and illnesses, increasing public awareness about health, and offering financial assistance to the patients through various schemes. So now let us see on the next page diseases occurring due to mutation in a single gene, that is monogenic disorders. Now mutation means a sudden change. Now we are living with the corona for the past 1 year and we have heard that the coronavirus is undergoing mutation or mutating. That means it is changing its genetic structure, the RNA structure, and now recently the third type of coronavirus is found somewhere in Europe. Okay, so here it's constantly changing its genetic structure and therefore we human beings are unable to prepare medicines accordingly because it is very difficult as it undergoes sudden changes and quickly. Okay, but now let us see the disorders occurring due to mutation in a single gene, that is monogenic disorder. Disorders or genes occurring due to mutation in any single gene into a defective one are called as monogenic disorders. So you can put a bracket for the definition. Approximately 4,000 different disorders of this type are known till now. Due to abnormal genes, their products are either produced in insufficient quantity or not at all. It causes abnormal metabolism that may lead to death at a tender age. Tender means young age. Examples of such disorders are Hutchinson's disease, Tay-Sachs disease, galactosemia, phenylketonuria, sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, albinism, hemophilia, night blindness, etc. Okay, but now let us study about albinism. Okay, so in albinism, it's a genetic disorder in which our eyes, skin, and hair have color due to brown pigment called as melanin. We all have got a brown color pigment, so we are brown and our skin color is there. But in this disease, what happens? In this disease, the body cannot produce melanin. The skin becomes pale, the hairs are white, and the eyes are usually pink due to the absence of melanin pigment in the retinal and the sclera. So you can see in the picture 16.11 the hair and the eyes of the child with albinism. Okay, so the retina and the sclera. Sclera is the white part of the eye. Okay, and retina is also the a part of the eye. Okay, so here in albinism, that is, they become white. You must have seen these people. Now the second disease here is sickle cell anemia. Okay, sickle cell anemia. In this, what happens? Even minor changes, small changes in the molecular structure of the proteins and the DNA may lead to diseases or disorders. Normal hemoglobin has glutamic acid as the sixth amino acid in its molecular structure. Okay, so the normal hemoglobin, has glutamine or glutamic acid, in the sixth amino acid. Okay, glutamic acid is the sixth amino acid, the molecular structure. But what happens if it is replaced by valine? Okay, if it is replaced by valine, then the shape, structure of the hemoglobin molecule change due to this erythrocytes or RBCs or red blood corpuscles, which are normally biconcave, become sickle shape. You know what's a sickle? The kurpi. Okay, sickle shape. This condition is called a sickle cell anemia, and the oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin in such individuals is very low. Now, in this condition, clumping and thereby destruction of the erythrocytes occurs most often. As a result, blood vessels are obstructed, that is blocked, and the circulatory system, brain, lungs, kidneys, etc. are damaged. Sickle cell anemia is a hereditary disease. It occurs due to changes in the genes during conception. When the baby is formed, okay, the conception means the time when the baby is being formed. If the father and the mother are both affected by the sickle cell anemia, or if they are the carriers of this disorder, their offsprings are likely to suffer from this disease. Hence, marriages between the persons who are carriers or suffering from sickle cell anemia should be avoided. Now, there are two types of persons affected by the sickle cell anemia. Look at the purple box. Sickle cell anemia carriers, that is AS, anemia carriers, and sufferer from sickle cell anemia, SS, sufferers from sickle cell. Symptoms of sickle cell anemia: swelling of the hands and the legs, pain in the joints, severe general body aches, frequent colds and cough, constant low-grade fever, exhaustion means tired, pale face, low hemoglobin count. Now this do you know is cancelled or deleted. Okay. So I hope you have followed these albinism and sickle cell diseases. Now in the next page, you can see here 16.12 picture, sickle cells are shown. How the normal RBCs are there in the first picture, and in the second, affected RBCs. So let's get a blood tested. Let's overcome sickle cell anemia. Now, sickle cell anemia occurs as follows. Look at the table there. Serial numbers are given 1 to 6. Man and woman and the progeny. What type of progeny will be born to them if they are married? Symbols: A is normal, AS is a carrier, and SS is a sufferer. So if the man is AA, normal, and woman is also normal, normal progeny if both parents are normal. Second, if man is AA or AS, carrier or normal, and the female is also, or the woman is also a carrier and a normal, then 50% progeny normal and 50% carrier. If one parent is normal and one is a carrier, okay, one is a carrier. Now the third type, when the man is normal or sufferer and the woman is also a sufferer or a carrier, all the progeny will be a carrier if one parent is normal and one is a sufferer. Now here, in the fourth type, both are carriers, so 25% progeny will be normal, 25% will be sufferer, and 15% carrier of both parents are carriers. Okay, fifth type, sufferer or a carrier, the man and the woman, the sufferer or a carrier. So 50% progeny carrier and 50% sufferer if one parent is a carrier and one is a sufferer. Last type, both are sufferers, man and woman. So all the progeny will be sufferers if both parents are sufferers. So diagnosis of sickle cell anemia under the National Health Mission scheme, the solubility test for diagnosis of sickle cell anemia is available at all district places or hospitals. Similarly, the conformity diagnostic test, that is electrophoresis, is performed at rural and sub-district hospitals. Now in the picture 16.13, hand of a child with sickle cell anemia is shown there. And what are the remedies for this? This disease is spread in only one way, that is reproduction. Hence, husband and wife should get the blood examined before marriage. Excuse me. Now, or after it. First one, a carrier of a sufferer should avoid marriage with another carrier or a sufferer. A person suffering from sickle cell anemia should take a tablet of folic acid every day or daily, you can say. Okay, so it's very important to get a blood check before getting married. Okay, now let us go to page 192, in which the third type of disorder is the mitochondrial disorder. Mitochondrial DNA may also become defective due to mutation. Mutation is a sudden change in the genes structure. During fertilization, mitochondria are contributed by the egg cell, that is the ovum alone, or the mother, we can say. Hence, mitochondrial disorders are inherited from the mother only. Leber hereditary optic neuropathy is a name of a disease, is an example of mitochondrial disorder. Again, I'll read. Leber hereditary optic neuropathy is an example of mitochondrial disorder. D. Disorders due to mutations in multiple genes, that is many genes, or you can say polygenic disorder. Some disorders arise due to mutations in more than one gene. In most such disorders, their severity increases due to effects of environmental factors on the fetus. Common examples of such disorders are cleft lip, cleft palate. Palate means the top part of your tongue, no, the top part, mandibular bones are there, okay, of your mouth. Then palate is the roof of the mouth, you can say. Constricted stomach, spina bifida, that is a defect in the spinal cord. Besides, diabetes, blood pressure, heart disorders, asthma, obesity are also polygenic disorders. Polygenic disorders do not strictly follow Mendel's principles of heredity. These disorders arise from the complex interaction between the environment, lifestyle, and the defects in several genes. So I hope you have followed these various disorders. Now always remember, let us see this, the yellow box. Interrelationship between tobacco addiction and cancer, uncontrolled growth of cells. What is cancer? Uncontrolled growth of cells. Many people consume tobacco either by smoking or by chewing. Consumption of tobacco in any form can cause cancer. Smoking of cigarettes and bidi adversely affects the process of digestion. It causes a burning sensation in the throat and cough. Excessive smoking causes instability and trembling of fingers. Okay, excessive, too much smoking and trembling. Trembling means tremble. Okay. Now, a dry cough causes sleeplessness. Okay, you get less sleep. Tobacco consumption can also lead to shortening of lifespan. Chronic bronchitis means the diseases of the lungs. Pericarditis means inflammation of the pericardium, that is a cover of the heart. Cancer of the lungs, mouth, larynx, that is a voice box, pharynx, then pancreas, urinary bladder, etc. Harmful effects of smoking are due to the nicotine present in the tobacco. It affects the central and the peripheral nervous system. Arteries become hard, that is, it causes atherosclerosis. Hardening of arteries is called as atherosclerosis, and hypertension is high BP. Tobacco smoke contains harmful chemicals like the pyridine, ammonia, aldehyde, furfural, carbon monoxide, nicotine, sulfur dioxide, etc. They cause uncontrolled cell division. Tobacco smoke is full of minute carbon particles which causes normal tissue of the lung to transform into thickened black tissue. This causes cancer. While chewing tobacco or tobacco products, much of the extract is absorbed into the body. Excessive tobacco consumption may cause cancer of the lips or tongue, visual disorders or tremors. Visual means you cannot see properly, eyes, okay, or tremors is trembling. To protect one's body from cancer, one must avoid smoking and consumption of tobacco and tobacco products in any form. Now here you can see in the pictures how that person has got mouth cancer and tongue cancer, lips again is cancerous. Again the teeth you can see, the mandibles and the maxilla, there is a lower and the upper jaws you can see. So these are the cancer causing diseases due to tobacco, you can say addiction. So compose and present a street play against tobacco consumption. Participate in a drive against tobacco. You need not do it now during this corona time. But when school begins, let's see if we can do it. Okay. So I hope you have followed this chapter very well. Go through it, read it 3-4 times. It's an important chapter because all the hereditary characteristics and the Mendel's laws are mentioned here. Okay, and you will solve the exercise at home. Now, let us go to the exercise. Complete the following sentences by choosing the appropriate words from the brackets. So you can take your pencil in your hand and you can write the answers. The first one, hereditary characteristics or characters are transferred from the parents to the offspring by the genes. Okay, hence they are said to be the structural and the functional units of hereditary. Second, or B, organisms produced by asexual method, that is asexual reproduction, show minor variations. C, the component which is in the nuclei of the cells and carries the hereditary characteristics is called the chromosomes. D, chromosomes are mainly made up of DNA. Organisms produced through sexual reproduction show major variations. So I hope you have written this. Now explain the following. The first one, explain Mendel's monohybrid progeny with the help of any one cross. So on page number 185, you can write there 185 there. Okay, you can find the answer there. You can write it. Explain Mendel's dihybrid ratio with the help of any one cross. Page numbers 186 to 188. You can just explain it and write it. C, distinguish between monohybrid, dihybrid cross. So first you'll write the definition of both and you can find the answer there on page 185 and 186. D, is it right to avoid living with a person suffering from a genetic disorder? No, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so you can live. The third one, answer the following questions in your own words. What is meant by chromosome and explain it type. So on page 180 and 181, you can write there, you'll find the answer there. B, the structure of the DNA molecule. So page 181, 182, you can find out the answer there. C, express your opinion about the use of DNA fingerprinting. On page 182, you can find the answer. D, explain the structure, function and types of RNA. Page 183, it's very well given there. E, why is it necessary for people to have their blood examined before marriage? Page 191, you know what it is. Fourth, write a brief note on each of the following. First, or A, Down syndrome, page 189. Monogenic disorders, 190 and 191 page numbers. Sickle cell anemia, symptoms and treatment, page 190 and 191. Okay. Now fifth one, how are the items in group A and B interrelated? So first one, Leber hereditary optic neuropathy. Okay. So you can write it how they are related. Okay. That is match the following. For this, the B part for this, in the B part, the answer for this is mitochondrial disorder. First one in the B, and in the C, it is this disorder arises due to developmental or development of the zygote. This disorder arises during development of zygote, first one. Now diabetes, the second. Its matching in the B part is polygenic disorder, and in the C column, the last one, effect on blood glucose level. Albinism, third one. In the B column, monogenic disorder, and in the C column, pale skin and white hair. Turner's syndrome, B column 45 plus X, and in C column women are sterile. Last one, Klinefelter's syndrome, B column 44 plus XXY, and in C column men are sterile. So write it properly. Okay. Now sixth one, filling the blanks based on the given relationship. A, 44 plus X, Turner syndrome. 44 plus XXY is Klinefelter's syndrome. B, 3:1 monohybrid ratio is to, again, 9:3:3:1 is dihybrid. Okay. C, women Turner syndrome, men Klinefelter syndrome. So complete the tree diagram below based on the types of hereditary disorders. Hereditary disorders, so write it there. First one, Down syndrome, first block. Second block, Turner syndrome. Third one, sickle cell anemia. And last one, albinism. Okay. So I hope you have all followed this, and based on this you can answer the questions. I have explained to you everything very well. So now study well for the unit test also. Thank you, children.